Alright, in this video I'm going to be talking about common relays. This is a 4-post relay, low amp to high amp. I'm going to be talking about starter solenoids as well, which is basically just a heavy duty relay. Now I have a good one and a bad one, and I was going to show you the difference between a good reading and a bad reading. These will take a battery to actuate the magnet in order to test this correctly. So I have a 12-volt battery here next to me. I've got my jumper wires that I'm going to use with the battery in order to power up what I need to power up, being the relay or the solenoid. Let's see here, I actually want to go black, keep it nice and color coded here. So let's start with the relay. It's the easier one here. Now a relay runs two circuits, a low amperage circuit and a high amperage circuit. This particular relay would be for something along the lines of a starter or glow plugs, because in order to actuate a starter it takes some serious amps, and that's why these posts here and here are so big, is because they need all of that to keep the power going through it. And it's actuated by a magnet, which is a low amp side. This could be something that's like 2 amps controlled by a controller or off of the key switch or something along those lines. So what we're going to do is test for continuity between our two big ones here. There should not be any continuity between these two big ones without, let's see, make sure we're on here, without sending power to this relay. And we should not have a reading right there. Now, over here on the small amp side, this is our magnet. We're going to see a reading here of somewhere around 70, 80 ohms, something along those lines there. Now, we are going to power up the magnet, and we're going to listen for a thunk or a click. Like a relay, they click. So, when I ground this out here, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's clicking. So now what I'm going to do is hook my clip to it, and I'm going to get a resistance reading between these two posts again. Oops, if I can hold my hand still. Now, you should see something, 0.2, 0.4, something around there. A low reading. So this is a good relay. And this will actuate with and without power. So that's how that works there. This relay can continue to be used. Solenoid, a lot like a relay. This one only has 3 leads. The 4th one is hidden. It's a ground. You just ground out the housing here. Let's see here. I'm actually going to ground it out over here. Hook up my power first. This is our power. So these two smaller ones, that would be the magnet. These two heavy duty terminals there, that would be once again for your starter or something along those lines. Typically a starter. So we're going to listen for our click, because it's basically a relay. It's a solenoid. It's just a lot heavier duty. So we have clicking. That's a good sign. As it is now without power, we should not have any reading between these two terminals. It should still say open loop or infinite, whatever your meter says. So when I do power it up, the magnet actuates the lever, and now we should have a reading in here, whether it be 0.2, 0.4, ideally a small number, basically less than 1 ohm. And this could be due to dirt on your terminals, bad leads, bad alligator wires. However, what you don't want to see, if I can get my clips off here, is a reading like this one. Let me get this all hooked up here. This is a known bad solenoid. So our first initial reading here with no power should be open loop or infinite. Now, it does actuate. You do hear the clicking. So, from just listening to this, it sounds like it's good because it's clicking. You figure your power's going through it. But we're going to get a different resistance reading off of it. Let's see here if I can read what that says. Okay, so this one's not actually giving me a good resistance reading here. It was before, but this thing is, yeah, so that right there, see how it's bouncing all over the place and it's very high? That's a common symptom of a bad switch or a bad relay, something along those lines. Or if you never get continuity, if it says open loop, which it doesn't now, it did, that would be a bad solenoid.